Yeah, boy. I'm glad you thought that was funny.
The whitest way you could say yeah.
Do you see how I have it in my script?
Oh, white.
I think I'm a little too excited to do this episode. If it isn't abundantly clear already, I was a kid who spent the majority of her tween years absorbing VH1. In fact, I think VH1's I Love the series is responsible for a solid 95% of my personality. That and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. After an opposites attract romance of a lifetime with Bridget Nielsen on The Surreal Life, our hero hype man Flavor Flav was looking for love.
I want to find somebody that I want to share my world with.
The year of our Lord 2006 started day one with the first episode of Flavor of Love, and the reality TV landscape was forever changed. Okay, The Bachelor premiered 4 years earlier, but who cares about that show, right? Already a spin-off of The Surreal Life, Flavor of Love was swiftly spun off into a throng of other shows. Rock of Love, Daisy of Love, I Love New York, Real Chance of Love, whatever that one was with Chad Ochocinco. Basically what I'm saying is Flavor of Love was iconic, and I don't think any other show has had or will ever have that sort of impact. I will admit, though, I never really watched a full episode until now. I mean, I was still flip-flopping between Disney Channel and Nickelodeon when this came out, but through cultural osmosis over the years, I feel like I've marathoned the show in entirety. I already know who wins this season too, but it's about the journey, not the destination, right? You can be part of my YouTube journey, though, by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It helps me out way more than you realize. Also, I decided to start a Discord, so if you're into that, you can join my server with my link in the description below. I'd love to chat with you guys. Flavor of Love begins with 20 women waiting in a mansion that Flavor Flav claims belongs to him. I'm pretty sure most, if not all, of these shows just kind of rent these mansions out, but whatever, I can suspend my disbelief for a few minutes. The women are all serving some of the most mid 2000s fashion looks I've ever seen. We've got chunky highlights, we've got sleeveless cowl neck sweater dresses, we've even got some casual lingerie. Escorted by his assistant Big Rick, Flavor Flav enters the mansion in an absolutely iconic outfit. In a confessional, Flav discusses his past, and I could not stop cracking up at the dog statue in the portrait. It's just amazing. And then I almost threw up when I saw Bridget Nielsen getting a cigarette passed to her via toe. As we're introduced to Flavor Flav in the episode, I can't stop thinking that he's kind of adorable. Like, he reminds me of the old lawyer guy from the Aristocats.
Still the softest hands in all fancy.
And I promise I mean this in the best way possible. We also meet the hopefuls and learn a little bit about who they are and why they're here. One of the things I really appreciate about this cast, though, is that the women look like actual people and not just like the wannabe influencers on all the shows coming out nowadays. It's so refreshing. One of the ladies we meet is Miss Tiffany Pollard, the woman, the myth, the legend. You might know her better as her moniker New York. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any reality TV villain more iconic, more successful, more memeable than Tiffany New York Pollard. She's introduced in the classic reality TV villain way.
I plan to win Flav's heart. In order for that to happen with 20 other women, there's no way I'm going to play fair. No way.
And a villainess was born. Flav explains to the women that he's going to be giving them these cheeky nicknames because he's not going to be able to remember their actual names. And honestly, it could just be a shtick thing the producers came up with, but if it's not, then he's so real for this. I once forgot a good friend's name in the middle of a conversation I was having with her. I wish that was a joke. Some of the nicknames that Flav gives out are interesting.
Oyster.
Oyster!
The oyster.
Oh, you can't call me oyster.
Don't tell me what I can do.
Some are produce-based.
You like apples?
I love apples.
You got the cherries.
That's right.
You gonna be peaches. Fine, pumpkin. Ooh, that's the name.
Some are just confusing.
Come on, Bubbles.
I love it. I got bubbles. I actually still don't even really know why, but you know.
And poor sweet Shells.
Let me see what I'm gonna call you.
What you say?
Um,
That you only meant well. Well, of course you did. What you say? Ooh, that it's all for the best.
all right, check this out.
Like scuba diving? Shells.
I'm giving you the name Shells.
And this is where Tiffany Pollard is officially named New York, but for some reason they don't show this part at all. Like, I was absolutely shocked that this wasn't put in the episode. Like, did the editors not know how important she was going to be to the cultural zeitgeist at this point? After all the names are given out, Flav announces that they're going to have a mixer so he can meet everyone and scope out who could possibly be the next love of his life. I actually read somewhere that he had a lady friend the whole time they were filming this, but we're just going to ignore that little factoid. At one point, Flav ends up sitting between New York and Pumpkin, and here we learn what a diverse resume the latter has.
I'm a substitute teacher, a cheerleading coach, then a hypnotist assistant.
New York claims that she's been following Flav's career her whole life, but Pumpkin is highly skeptical of this.
New York. She just comes off incredibly fake, so hopefully he catches on to that sooner or later.
Are we about to hear the phrase? If you're familiar with these shows, you know what phrase I'm talking about. Are we about to hear it for the first time? Then Hottie comes in with another classic romance competition show bit.
I'd like to borrow him for a minute if that's okay.
She snatches Flav away and then keeps him to herself, much to the annoyance of the others. Eventually, though, Flav is freed from Hottie's greedy clutches and finds himself sitting with a bunch of women, including, most importantly, to me anyway, Picasso. She immediately becomes my favorite because she's clearly not afraid to be her true self. She also says something that genuinely made me laugh harder than anything else in this whole episode.
He must have like a healthy sexual appetite. Would you say that or just average?
He has 6 kids, of course, sweetie.
We also get to know Oyster a little bit more, and God, I can't get over how awful of a nickname that is. Like, I really don't blame her for being pissed about it. Oyster is just one of those words that feels really gross in my mouth. Plus, it's one consonant blend away from my least favorite word in the whole entire world. Cloister. I wonder if Flav was trying to channel aphrodisiacs with that one, but man, did he miss the mark. Honestly, aphrodisiac would have been a way better nickname. I really need to work in TV. I have so many great ideas, guys. You don't even know.
I am loving the red on you. Can I just say that I'm attempting a world record by wearing red every day? It's been 6 years every day that I've been wearing red.
Does anyone know if she actually achieved that? In the meantime, poor Goldie gets a little too drunk and passes out on the couch with a trash can. I pass no judgment on her for that. I think a lot of us have been there before. But have a lot of us had a Rain or a Picasso taking care of us like Goldie did? This is the kind of girl power stuff I love to see. These two did their best to get Goldie on her feet while the others made fun of her for getting sick. We need more of that in the world. Goldie is revitalized enough to make it to the elimination ceremony wherein Flavor Flav will give out clocks to those he wants to stay. Again, there are 20 women, and there are only 15 clocks, so that means 5 women will be eliminated this night. See, Dad? I can do math. Hottie is given the first clock, and not long after, New York has one dangling from her neck too.
I think Flav should have sent home New York. I think she's here for the wrong reasons.
She finally said it! The typical anxiety ensues as the women wait to hear their names, and as much as I've come to adore Flav, he pulls one of the meanest switcheroos I've ever seen on a show like this.
Very interesting piece of work of art right about now. Georgia.
I was really sad to see Picasso go, but I also had a feeling she wasn't going to make it very far. Me liking someone on a show like this is usually the kiss of death for them. The other girls to be sent home are Smokey, Shells, and Bubbles, who also thinks New York is not there for the right reasons, as well as Sirius.
Because I think those two in particular are here for their own agenda.
Cherry is particularly devastated to be leaving.
I just don't understand. I don't deserve it. I'm like way better than half those chicks that he kept here, and I just am so upset.
And I was shocked to see her go after she spent most of the night making out with Flav. But, I mean, I already knew this show was a masterpiece of shit showery, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. So there you have it, the first episode of Flavor of Love Season 1. This is kind of new for my channel, not just doing a standalone episode, so if you enjoyed this and want to see me go over the rest of the season, please be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. If you like this video, then I think you'll also like my Dating in the Dark video, so go ahead and check that one out if you haven't already. And if there's something else in my growing catalog that you'd like to see in the future, be sure to leave any and all suggestions in my comments, and maybe I'll do a video on them sometime too. And don't forget to join me next time when I watch something else.